Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the men's room.
And away we go. Welcome to show number 2835. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, Robin Fox, and my cock, Montgomery. Are in the men's room. On tap today, Ryan Castle's A Drunken Charge is into Sit and Spin now. Today, 10 huge songs that you did not know were covers. What you don't need to know has more things that you don't need to know. Get ready to play Profile This. Plus headlines, the men's room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Clack, drinking to drunk.
All right, here we go as we go to South Carolina, where 2 reporters covering Alberto lose their life when a tree uproots and falls. We now head to Cedar Point in Ohio, where riders were stuck for 2 hours when the power there stalls. Florida couple sues McDonald's for $5 million for not charging for cheese. Sesame Street suing movie for puppets using Kleenex and not when they sneeze. And ABC says, damn you, Roseanne! Damn you all to hell! That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, a 9-year-old kid in South Carolina, he set up a lemonade stand, and it's all cute. He set it up to help pay for his little brother's medical bills, all right? So his brother has a neurological condition that is often lethal. It's very serious stuff. So this kid sets up a lemonade stand, and he raised over $6,000. $6,000, all right? Now, there's a 17-month-old kid in Chicago. She also has a rare medical condition, or what they call, and I quote, an ultra-rare condition. And in this case, and I'm not making this up, it's called, and certain it's a real thing, uncombable hair syndrome. Swear to God, it's called, put it this way, think of the movie Back to the Future, all right? Right? Now picture Doc. Stop looking at the picture, man. Picture Doc from Back to the Future. Take that hair, put it on a toddler, and know that there's nothing you can do about it.
He looks happy.
You can shave your kid bald, or your kid looks like that. And honestly, like that's the entire condition.
Oh, man.
The only thing, it always looks like that. Now, that's not the worst problem that you can have, but there always seems to be something that parents worry about, right? When they tell the stories to you, maybe it's bedwetting. You're afraid of the dark, sucking your thumb. They don't talk yet. Whatever it is, your parents worried about you when you were a kid. Maybe it was serious. Maybe you're a late bloomer. We don't know. But here's today's question. What was it about you that made your parents worry as a kid?
Be part of the Big Show. Call 844-999-OLA. You can like The Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send emails to the Men's Room at mensroomlive.com. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Welcome back to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Hola, bicholas. And away we go. Welcome to show number 2835 of the Large in Charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat as the Drunk in Charge. Ryan Castle coming in to sit and spin. And as we have done a few covers here on previous episodes of Sit and Spin, today we take a little time to feature some cover songs, but the actual original version, and often the cover becomes way more popular than the original version to the point where you didn't even know that there was another version of that song, and the artist that you thought always did the one song. Jimi Hendrix is all along the Watchtower.
Right.
That seems to be the more popular version of the song. U2 did a somewhat popular version of it, nowhere near like Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on.
but Bob Dylan originally did it, and it's a completely different song. And if you're a Dylan fan, you know that. But there's a lot of people out there that don't know that Bob Dylan wrote it. These are even more unknown than that.
Right.
So, these are the ones where you're like, you got to be kidding me. I had absolutely no idea. I thought that was an original. We go back to growing up, all the Joan Jett songs that were covers, all the different,
if you heard it on the radio, it was a cover.
Quiet Riot. I mean,
if it was a hit for them,
they were a cover band. All these bands. So we have the 10 huge songs that maybe you didn't actually know were covers. To be honest with you, I did not know a lot of the original artists.
Yeah, so, you hear rumor that it's a cover, but you have no idea who did it first.
A lot of these songs go back.
And they're like, well, who did it? Like, I don't know. It's just not their original song.
And we also have what you don't need to know. And today we have more things that are really, really interesting that actually you just don't need to know. That absolutely mean absolutely nothing. But they're still fascinating tidbits, and we'll do that right before we drink a toast with a shot of the day. Okay, today we're going to talk about you being a kid. And one thing that you need to know is when you're a kid, your parents, to some degree, depending on the pecking order, do worry about you, other siblings more so than others, for a variety of reasons. Steve and I were talking earlier today about the fact that we have two kids that are very similar to each other because they're brothers or sisters or whatever they are, but you can trust one to do something more than the other. And
I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but we were just talking about something that may or may not have happened in the past few days. I allowed one child to pursue this thing, right, which some might perceive as dangerous, and the other child then asked if they could also do it, and straight up like, nope, and told them why. I said, man, you don't listen to what people say. And, like, if you don't listen to someone says here, that's going to be the end of you. So, no. And I'm not being mean, and they even kind of accepted, like, you're right, I'm a bit of a knucklehead with these things. I said, look, I love you, so I have to say no to this because you will kill yourself.
Yeah.
Period.
There is...
And Miles said, that's funny, because with my kids, I would allow this one to do the same thing, and I absolutely, for the exact same reason, they're a lunatic, they would not pay attention, and they'd go and kill themselves.
Look, I love both my kids very much.
Sure.
If one of them were lost in the woods, they went on a hike by themselves and they got lost, okay? Depending on who got lost, I would either have a helicopter out there, I would be out there on foot.
Or call a few friends.
Or I'd say, you know what, you'll probably call tomorrow.
Yeah.
It depended on what kid it was. It really would. If there's one child out there that's lost in the woods, I'm going to go, oh my God, she's going to die. And the reason that I believe that is because she would die. The other child would, like, make friends with, like, I don't know.
Woodland creatures,
right,
man.
Woodland
you know
creatures
what I mean?
and, like, three hippies who also got her stoned. They fed her a 4-course meal. Now she's joining a band and living in a van. I mean, like, or whatever the hell. But she would be just fine. And she would figure out a way to survive. She would orient herself someplace. She would know the North Star. Just basic things. This kid would have,
and we know which kid would do
better grasp.
One of them will die in the woods. One of them hasn't come out of the woods because they're having a great time.
One could starve to death locked into a restaurant.
Right.
The other would, be.
This is fortunate.
Would try everything on the menu.
Sure.
Be fired up about it. Both of them, however, restaurant experience.
And it's just
from their
fact.
jobs.
And look, when I was growing up, you would overhear your parents having conversations with other people, and they bring you up. And if you have a sibling, you knew where you stood in your parents' eyes as far as maybe athleticism, intellectual skills, just basic things. Because your parents would tell stories about you, and as a kid, you began to understand. Okay, in my case, of me and my brother, I am clearly the dumber of the two. And I will not argue this. There's no question. I'm the dumber of the two, but this seems like readily available information to them that they don't mind sharing. The flip side was, should anything go dramatically wrong, then they seem to believe that I would better cope with it than, say, my brother. Right. Very smart, but because everything's by the rules.
Analytical.
Anything that steps outside of what it should be, he's going to be in a bad position. Where I'm like, all right, this is my comfort zone. Like, rules are what I have a problem with.
Yep.
So the best way to get me to do something is not bring it up at all.
There was a kid in our neighborhood growing up, and he was much, much younger. At this point in time, I was in high school.
Did you treat him bad, man?
Probably no, not at all. He was a baby. He was a young kid, and he didn't speak, and he never talked, and people were really worried about him because he never spoke. Now, his sister was talking constantly, always, all the time. Matter of fact, I believe...
Funny how that works.
This is a very educated family. She is now like a surgeon, a doctor, whatever, but they thought that this kid, because he didn't speak, they didn't know what was going on in his brain.
Sure.
So he ended up playing football, which, neither here nor there. But he was a 4.0 student. He was a genius. An athletic All-American or something like that. He wasn't an All-American from his ability to play football. He did play Division I football. His grades were so good, he was that guy.
Okay.
So, but you had no idea. And his parents they took him to a million different specialists trying to see was his hearing an issue? Could he not?
Well, you panic. My parents said the same thing about he's older than me, so I don't know this, but they said, look, he would not speak until he was like 4.5 years old. Right? And they're like, it was worrying us. Is he deaf? Is he dumb? It didn't matter what they did, he wouldn't talk. So, as my mother tells it, and things were a little different back then. You had to be a little tougher, I think, with news. The doctor said, there's not a goddamn thing wrong with your kid. He just does not want to talk to you. Period. That is the problem. He can hear everything. He can... Every test I want to talk. He doesn't want to talk to you. He just talked to me. So, I guess like 2 more weeks passed. They still can't get him to talk. So, my parents are still worried. Like, come on, man. The doctor missed this. And I guess... he had like his fingers in his mouth and he's pointing at something, and my mother's running through everything he might want, right? Do you want milk? No. Do you want crack? And she said, fine. He pulled his fingers up and said, Mom, I want juice. And that was the first words that he basically spoke to my parents.
Come on, man.
I pointed at everything.
You talk the whole time.
And now he's a goddamn rocket scientist.
What was it about you as a kid that made your parents worry? 844-999-OLA.
And I am not. Hello, Mike. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, folks, how's your summer going?
Hola! So far, so good. How about yours, Mike?
Well, it's swell. Thanks for asking.
Okay.
My parents...
hang on. I mean,
right out of the
Colors,
gate.
here are the 7 words you can't say
Oh,
on the
my
radio.
God.
Sucker, mother, and please keep those words in mind when calling. Now, back to the program.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
So I would laugh at inappropriate stuff on movies and such.
like give us an example of a movie and a scene where you thought it was comedy.
4 years old, playing with Light Bright, and Gremlins was on. And it was the cracking of the cocoon shells. And I was giggling and laughing at the mischief and the mayhem on the television. And they were kind of thrown off by that.
Really? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, I get Gremlins, and it did scare some kids, but I could see a 4-year-old kid laughing when the Gremlins, it's like the mischief, because what kids like is mischief. If you don't prevent kids from mischief, that's what they do. So I would think a little kid seeing crazy-looking things, doing what a kid would love to do, break stuff, run around.
So I think I agree with you on that premise based on
Sure.
that.
They're doing what you would do if you were hell, I would if they look, man, what's the movie? What's the one you get one night out of the year and you can
Purge.
The Purge. Or,
Purge.
The Purge
Yeah.
is like one day Gremlins for adults. It's the same thing, man. You know what I mean? Like, look, if you could, you would.
Plus, little kids laugh at the wrong thing sometimes. They
Trust
could be
me.
watching an adult movie with you. They'll just start laughing at something.
And
they
sometimes
did not get the joke.
Some people are nervous and they laugh too. If something is uncomfortable, like it could be that.
You guys have kids. Can I ask you a question about your kids?
Sure.
Did they laugh at the mushroom scene in Little Dinosaur?
I don't know if they've seen it. To be honest with
You know what? I know they've seen the movie. I am fortunate enough I've not had to sit through that one, so probably, but I don't know.
No, but you're
So
right.
you need to take a ride and eat a meal and check that movie out. It's a good one.
Okay.
What movie is this?
There's
Mushroom-
Dinosaur story. It's come out in the last couple of years.
The Brontosaurus and the big neck. Yep, they eat some boomers, and it goes on a nice little kick for about 5 minutes. It's interesting.
Are you a parent?
I am a parent. Yes.
Okay.
All right, what about your kids?
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
I have one daughter.
All right.
And what are you worried about with her?
Kind of her obsessive, analytical little self, putting rocks in lines and making little plans with animals and creatures outside.
How old is she?
Interesting. She's 5.
Okay. Well, but so nothing to be really alarmed by, right?
No, not alarmed, but like it's like I get really impressed easily by it. And I'm like, I wonder if she's really good at something in life that I hope I can help her with.
Well, it's how they do it. I mean, that's all. Like, kids do that, but you know when your kid's anal versus the kid that's not anal.
She doesn't scare me yet, man. But,
Yeah, that's good.
How hard did she
Probably
laugh
will.
at this mushroom scene?
Oh, she giggled, man. She giggled along with the rest of the parents in the theater, so I knew it was a good place.
Well, you know what, man? That's part of that's what I hate to say this, man, but part of that whole trigger, if you're going to do that as an adult, is that remedial feeling that it brings you of just like childlike euphoria. So
Sure.
when you return to that state, child's just living in it. You know what I mean? Granted, the wall's not dripping. It's a different scenario, but one of the things about, I think, those type of, opening of the mind situations is it kind of breaks down those walls of, you being an adult or not.
You think it's funny because you know the dinosaur's tripping. The kid thinks it's funny because it's just watching the dinosaur reacting to something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, they have no idea, like, oh, no, dude, trust me, they are tripping bees right now.
What was it about you as a kid that made your parents worry? 844-999-OLA.
One thing that my kids have gotten, Tom and Jerry, man, and the old Looney Tune cartoons, the unedited ones. It's like if a stick of dynamite blows up in your mouth, your teeth still fall out. They think that is the most hilarious stuff. And you realize as you watch it, they only laugh at the violence.
Mm-hmm.
It's only funny when Yosemite Sam fires his guns. It's only funny when Daffy Dog gets his beak blown off. It's only funny if Tom gets his tail caught in a mousetrap. Like, that's the most hilarious stuff. So the things the kids find funny anyway are watching other people experience pain. America's Funniest Home Videos, right?
That's all it is.
95% of it hurts the person you're watching. You just laugh and laugh.
That's some of your kids, man. Some of your kids that you're going to spend a lot of time in the emergency room. What you worry about is what are they going to come home and what's going to be broken next. We go to South Carolina. A 9-year-old South Carolina boy selling lemonade, was trying to help a sick baby brother. And he raised $6,000 in 2 hours on Saturday. Andrew Emery wanted to help his parents pay for the medical bills for his little brother Dylan. The infant suffers from crab disease, or crabby disease maybe, a rare and often lethal neurological condition. So, on Saturday, Emery spent 2 hours at a used truck dealership, and he sold lemonade and T-shirts. And he raised $5,860 to be added to the $1,300 he already raised, and a benefit concert for his brother.
Jeez.
He says, I'm going to spend it on Dr. Bills and stuff and buy him a teddy bear, too. I just want to help Dylan. He's my baby brother. Dylan's mother and father are with him at a Pittsburgh hospital seeking medical care. Melissa Emery is updating her youngest son's condition on the Facebook page that she set up. The calls, the texts, the thoughts, and prayers have been continuous and so numerous we can't count. We're so appreciative. Please keep them coming because we are grasping at each one to help us through the day. Andrew's mother said that he has been thrilled from the start to have a younger brother, and the fundraising is just an extension of the love he has for Dylan. That's impressive as a kid to do that.
Yeah, but that's a serious condition his brother has. The other kid has the crazy hair, but as far as, born with something, we have a comment that comes in, and it says, when I was born, the doctors told my mom there was a problem. My mom was worried I was not going to make it until they told her, well, your daughter has an extra thumb.
Oh.
Now, is that an extra thumb on each hand or just one extra thumb?
Just one. Just one
Weird,
extra
man.
thumb, right?
What's it? My buddy Tony, two things. When he was born with 6 fingers on each hand. Mm-hmm. All right. And they got rid of that one, which is crazy because he plays guitar now. And I always told him, do you know how much better you would be, man? You could do things. And then also there was something, I don't know if this works. I think maybe he couldn't breathe or something when he was born, but they poked holes in his armpits.
Oh.
And somehow, man, I can't explain it, but he has armpit dimples. But
I'll be damned.
It's but he's like, it was immediate. It's like I was born apparently. And they're like, look, ignore the 12 fingers. We have bigger fish to fry. Yes, he's a mutant, but your little mutant baby can't breathe. So, yeah, they went in through his armpits, man, and somehow saved that.
That's crazy.
I don't know. But it explains why he's so
Did he have
grouchy.
6 fingers on each hand or just one hand?
I think he said he was born with 6. Sorry to share your business, brother, but it's weird, man. 6 fingers on each hand, right? So he's a 12-finger freak, and that was a thing, and they noticed that immediately as he tells the story, but it's like, hey, before we can talk to this mutant thing, we got to save him. So by the time they saved his life, then they came back. And I guess, as he explained it, while they did whatever they did through his armpit, they also got rid of the fingers. So by the time his mom finally got to hold him, he didn't look like the mutant that he actually was.
I think he'd be like the greatest wide receiver ever. He could catch anything. You know what I mean? Like,
or his dad's a lizard.
Yeah.
He can
like,
climb up walls.
Yeah, like,
I'm like, for some reason, I always go lizard when I go mutant.
Wears a baseball glove with like one finger out all the time.
Would you be a better pitcher, do you think?
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, you get more
you can
spin
do all
on the
kinds
ball.
of stuff with it.
You'd want to play court. Would you play receiver or quarterback? If you got a six-finger
Receiver.
kid. Really?
Receiver.
Yeah. 100%.
Because you're trying to get that. You're trying to put as least pressure on the ball as possible with the least amount of your hand as you can. It's kind of like when you throw. You want to throw with the tips.
Is that an unfair advantage, though? I mean, could I say, like, all right, you guys
A
pop
wide receiver having extra fingers?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, it's an unfair
But,
advantage.
be like, all right, no, I understand that. But, like, if I take performance-enhancing drugs, but I'm a CB, I got to cover he's in my division. I got to cover this guy twice a season at least, right? And he has an unfair, and I know it's genetic, but he has an unfair advantage because he's got an extra finger. This is not about he's tall or he's fat. He has an extra finger. I feel like I should be able to, like, take some performance-enhancing drug before the games I play him.
I mean, but Shaq always had, a competitive advantage of being the size he
Giant,
was.
yeah, sure.
Yes, I mean, I think we
But
already
he didn't
seen
have
it.
6 fingers.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
think
he
it
had the
makes a
height
difference.
advantage. He didn't need it there. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you can catch anything that's thrown your way because you have extra fingers. That makes you pretty unique.
I don't know. Well, it does, but
Yeah, I mean, you can't find gloves.
No, I can't use any of that stuff.
Right?
Not a lot.
Somebody will sponsor him and make the first glove.
What was it about you as a kid that made your parents worry? 844-999-OLA.
oh, God damn it. Phone down.
All right. We lose
I'm still
everybody.
just trying to find this dinosaur movie. See, this little kid
Trying
finds
on
so
acid.
funny.
No, we've got someone. They said, "Hey, that movie, The Good Dinosaur, it was definitely a what the f moment, and it made my 28-year-old self cry. Ha ha." People are recommending.
All right. Okay.
I'll check it out. I'll get stoned, sit down with the kids, and watch The Good Dinosaur.
Reminds you of an acid trip and all that. That sounds good to me. Yeah.
Like, is there bad ones?
Did you see like Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Okay, well, they kill people.
Oh, I see. It's
and
literally called The Good Dinosaur.
Yeah.
All right.
Are there bad ones? Yes, dinosaurs.
Unbelievable. A brave 14-year-old boy battling leukemia had his wish granted. He got to have his very own county fair all to himself and his family. The Sacramento County Fair opened, but only for one person. He is my resilient warrior hero, according to the boy's mom, Tasha. Tara Watts has spent the last year battling leukemia. If I didn't know the definition of resilient, he definitely taught me. Yeah, Tasha says it's been a tough battle for him and his entire family, but he has always stayed positive, and he ended up beating his cancer and received his Make-A-Wish dream day, which was he wanted the entire fair to himself.
That's a good wish,
And
man.
that's exactly what he got. He got all the rides, all the food, and all that, and he received a special reward, too, a plaque. We presented him as an honorary firefighter for his heroic deeds of rescuing his neighbors when there was a fire in his apartment complex, which he did. And as an honorary Stockton firefighter, Tyrell will get to go through graduation with them next year.
Damn.
There you go.
Nice.
Very cool. Our question, what was it about you as a kid that made your parents worry? 844-999-OLA. More of your calls coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Right, Castle Dog in Charge is coming into Sit and Spin today. We've got 10 huge songs you didn't know were covered. Sit and Spin is on the way. All right, our question, 844-999-OLA. What was it about you as a kid that made your parents worry?
A few quick comments about being born with extra digits. It says, I was born with 6 fingers on each hand, 6 toes on each foot, and my toes are webbed together.
Huh.
You should join the swim team.
Yeah.
I think webbed toes is common.
More common.
Yeah.
I don't know, common's quite the right
Kind of
word,
a
but you know.
creature from the Black Lagoon thing.
Sure, man.
Yeah,
Throw
yeah,
him in the
it's
water.
normal,
Save your
sure.
life. It's okay, but you're a great lifeguard.
Right.
And this guy says, a friend of our son's has 1 extra digit on each hand and foot. Now, he had them removed, but as a result, he has very wide feet and huge hands. All right. Hello, Rebus. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hey, guys.
Hola.
Hola. So with me, the thing that my parents were kind of terrified of is the fact that I had no fear of practically anything, and I was an adrenaline junkie. So, like when one of my sisters was being delivered in the hospital, my aunt was washing dishes, and she looked out the back window, and I was going down the slide. I was 3 years old, and I was going down the slide on a wagon, and she had to like run out and clothesline me so that I didn't, crack up at the bottom. She locked that up, and then she looked back out the window again, and I'm going down on a tricycle and then on in a wheelbarrow. I just kept dragging these things to the top of the slide, and it turns out that both of my kids have done the exact same thing at about the same age. So apparently it's something we all have where, no fear, Well, actually, with me, the one thing that I was afraid of was spontaneous human combustion, the fact that I might just burst into flames.
Well, to be fair,
luckily that never happened. So, but other than that, nothing.
But
and
what about now?
Both of my kids.
Are you like this now?
You know what? I'm okay with it now. No,
I mean,
I would read those books where, like an entire chapter would be dedicated to people, that just burst into flames for no reason. And I thought, crap, this is something I can't control, But,
well, sure. But I mean, what about you now? Are you still an adrenaline junkie? I mean, do you go surfing? You jumping out of planes?
Yeah, we don't think you're going to catch on fire.
I mean, you might.
Yeah, no, I'm 49. I'm old and broken down now, so those days are long past. Now I just try and catch up to my kids,
But did you live that life while you were younger? In other words, were you exactly who your parents saw you as the 3-year-old, or your aunt saw you coming? Did you do stupid things? Were you an adrenaline junkie all the time?
Dude, I've jumped off of, I think it's 3 different cliffs that are about 60 feet. In my life, down in Jamaica, some lady jumped in after me and almost landed on my head while I was in the water. I've climbed cliffs with screwdrivers and baseball cleats, when I was 12 years old and hit a rock.
I got to tell you, I had a very not a similar experience. Mine was a little bit different, but I was at Nick's, right? And the guy said, and I was going to jump off that cliff. And they're like, no.
Where's Nick's?
Nick's is in the Grill on the western coast of Jamaica. The
That's exactly where the lady almost landed on my head.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
No, it's Rick's. Rick's Cafe.
Rick's, that's what it is.
Yep.
So when I jumped off there, the guy held up the line and goes, wait a minute. They had to wait for the shark to get out of the cove.
Did you still jump in?
Oh, we all went. Yeah, after the shark left, everybody, there's a line. He'll attest to that. There's people ready to go, man. You got to get
to jump 60 feet in the shark-infested waters.
It's worth it. It's a nice cove. It's beautiful. And you can see down into the water.
Did any of the brothers jump? You're in Jamaica. Were they still
yeah.
No, that's for the white.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
How many times did you have to go to the hospital as a result of one of your
You're also drunk.
It was constant.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, it was constant. There's x-rays of my skull from getting hit in the head with a ping pong paddle used as a frisbee. Just tore my eye out right open. And of course my younger son, who's 8, he is in the hospital constantly for stuff like that. Luckily my wife works in the ER, so we just get in immediately.
Mom. What do you do for a living?
I'm a delivery driver.
All right.
I'm actually the guy that passed out and woke up underwater in the bathtub that you guys talked to a few weeks ago.
Jesus Christ. Oh. You're lucky to be alive.
All right.
Yeah, good time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
In his defense, I think spontaneous combustion is a phase everybody's scared of, right?
Well, no.
You never had like a year or two where you thought you were going to combust?
No. Quicksand,
walking down the street, mind my own business, all of a sudden I blow up? No, I never had that one. Heights, yes.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.